So it's Friday.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. You got any big plans the weekend or for the weekend?
Well, we were talking. I was kind of
that's
hiding
right.
it from you. Yeah,
That's right.
I'm pressure washing my deck, which is old man for party.
Riveting.
We really got cheated of a lot of things because of COVID.
Yeah.
But the main thing we got cheated of in sports that nobody's remembering is we would have had an entire 162-game season where people would have given the Astros hell.
Oh, yeah.
Browns are obviously bullish on their quarterback, so buy or sell. Should Cleveland be considered a legitimate Super Bowl contender?
I am buying. You'd be crazy not to. They went to the playoffs just this past season. Kevin Stefanski has taken a team that on paper was supposed to be a super team, and under Freddie Kitchens was everything but a super team. I'm pretty sure when I see a 300-pound guy with a number 81, I'm going to know he's not a wide receiver. Let's be honest, Tom. You have to catch that ball. I'm a little sensitive because I had Bernie Williams foul ball in my hands as a kid, and some jerk ripped it out of my hands, handed it to his daughter, and she goes, "What do I do with this?" And he said, "Add it to your collection." I wanted to cry. Buy or sell pineapple on pizza?
No, selling that.
Thank you.
Selling
Sell it. Because I have friends that argue with me about this, and they say, "Well, what do you mean? It tastes good." Yeah, I like pineapple. I'm sure it tastes good. But if I put a birthday cake on a slice of pizza, that's a birthday cake on dough. It's not pizza. If I'm eating pineapple on pizza, I'm eating pineapple, and there's some tomato sauce and dough thrown into it. I'm sorry. New York is where it's at.
Amen
Pizza's
to that.
where it is.
Amen to that. Do you want to start with winners and losers, or do you want me to
I'll start.
All right.
I'm going to come right out of the gate with the obvious. The Jags are huge winners.
We did it, baby! Woo!
And it's not just because they were the number one pick and they got Trevor Lawrence. That's obvious. Trevor Lawrence, a generational quarterback that they grabbed number one.
Yeah.
It's what they did, Nick, with their second pick later in the first round. They grabbed Travis Etienne of Clemson, who's not only probably the best running back on my board, best running back next to Najee Harris in the draft, but former teammate of Trevor Lawrence. They've now got a phenomenal franchise quarterback. They've got a great running back, former teammates, and oh yes, I'm going to say the entire AFC East won. The Pats grabbed their franchise quarterback without having to move. You got the Jets, who have Zach Wilson. Then they protect him on his blind side with Elijah Vera Tucker. The Finns grabbing Jalen Waddle and Jalen Phillips. A whole lot of Jalen going on on South Beach. So they've got a fantastic wide receiver, a killer edge rusher. That's going to help Tua out. It's going to help that great defense out. And, of course, our Buffalo Bills grabbing who I wanted as their defensive end, Gregory Rousseau out of Miami.
Yeah.
I got everybody. AFC East wins for me.
Yeah, I love that.
You know what? In that case, I'll throw one of my losers up there.
Those losers!
Green Bay. For the same exact reason. They went into this draft needing a few things. Well, unfortunately, I would say quarterback, but not really. They drafted Jordan Love. They need Aaron Rodgers. But they have like 3 holes on their offensive line that they could have went with first. They didn't. Second of all, they drafted Stokes, a corner who's, not bad by any means, but I thought they could have got him later. There was more value at offensive line where they picked, and there was actually more depth at corner where they picked, but I am also a believer in if you have your guy, go get him.
Because tomorrow's going to be May the 1st, so it's going to be May.
It's gonna be May.
Is this a meme that should be retired, or
No.
is this one that really you can get behind it the whole time?
Well, it's seasonal, so it doesn't burn out because you only use it around May.
Right.
It's like a Christmas song. It's like the Mariah Carey Christmas song.
Are you buying or selling that Rodgers will start the 2021 season in Green Bay?
I am going to be selling that one. He is not going to be in Green Bay. I know, of course, the organization is going to come out and say, he is not for trade, this and that. This is not something that just sprung up. This has been going on, I would say, even before they drafted Jordan Love. But if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're as disgruntled as you say you are, you have to be willing to say, okay, I'm not going to be the highest paid quarterback.
Time around.
You don't want to make him mad because he's going to beat you. I think the Jets would be an ideal landing spot for him because the whole reason they drafted Zach Wilson is because they said he looks a lot like Aaron Rodgers. But why not get Aaron Rodgers and throw Zach Wilson behind him? the
real quick
organization
before we get to the-
for signing 10-year contracts. I am so against 10-year contracts. This happened with A-Rod. It's happening right now with Miguel Cabrera. They just don't end well. It's not that I don't believe in long-term contracts, because you're right. You got a guy of that caliber, you lock him up for as long as you can.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, in baseball, maybe, scale back the games to 100 games per season. These guys in 10 years, that's like over 1,000 games. Your body, no human being except Tom Brady apparently can play forever. There, and I just think the Astros, wherever they go, that's the new rival. Like, they're everyone's rival right now. I just think Yankees fans are a little bit more ruthless than most fans. I've been to a Cincinnati Reds game.
Are you buying or selling that Stanton can keep this up?
I'm selling. Call me Facebook Marketplace. I'm selling everything today. I mean, look, the reason I'm selling is if you look at his stats, his entire career since 2010, he's never hit over 300. I can't tell you the last time I felt this way about the Yankees. I mean, they are genuinely as mediocre and lackluster, in my opinion, as they could be right now. I mean, just if you look
works for the Tampa Bay Rays for some stupid reason.
Dude, the Tampa Bay Rays, I have talked so much trash about them over the years, and you know what? I have to stop. They have been consistently fantastic for the last 3-4 years, even before they were fantastic, okay? Before they were a World Series championship, contending team. They were sweeping the Yankees when they were in last place. Like, they've always had the Yankees number, and kudos to the front office there, because their farm system is obviously, as you can see, is fantastic. So LeMahieu, for me, especially last season, was I felt about him the way I felt about Cano back in the day, which was I just genuinely knew when he was at the plate, something good was going to happen.
Yeah.
Which league it is in soccer.
Oh, I'm terrible with this stuff. So.
Yeah, me too. But there's like the bottom 4 teams go down to like their version of the AAA.
They get relegated.
Yeah, and then the top. I think baseball. You want to save baseball? What if the Pawtucket Red Sox or like the Isotopes were like, if we could get minor league baseball teams to come up into major league and some major league teams down? That's something I really love about AA. People think it's AAA. AAA is really not where it's at. It's the AA teams and some of the AAA teams where you're getting like some of the stars that are on their way down, and then you're getting some of the hot young rising, and they meet in the middle, and it's really fun to watch. Like, if you could knock the bottom 4 major league teams down into the AAA,
Orioles, the Diamondbacks,
Pirates, whoever,
the Pirates, they're all done.
They're up, and here we got the the Reading Rough Riders, or I don't remember what their name is, but you know what I mean? Like, it would be so cool.
Yeah.
But man, Montreal, who was on nobody's radar, is going to the Stanley Cup, and I'm not a Montreal fan. I'm a New York Rangers fan. But Carey Price, I played goalie. Carey Price has never won a Stanley Cup, and he's one of the greatest of all time in my book. And I kind of want to see him win one. I don't know why there's hockey in Florida, but although I have heard it's an incredible experience going to a hockey game in Tampa Bay. Like, the one Florida sport other than college,
it's the one they care about.
is they go nuts down there for it.
Yeah.
So, what about a sanctioned sticky stuff from the MLB? They come up, they say, okay, this is the quote unquote sticky stuff. Okay, we've gotten together with scientists and we've put together just enough for you to grip the ball. It's not going to affect spin rate, and anything else you use, you're in trouble. We can say, here, you're having trouble gripping the ball. Here's some sanctioned sticky stuff. I want to see. Remember the days of seeing a pitching duel where you go to a game and your team wins 1-0 because it was like Randy Johnson versus, it was just great pitching.
Yeah.
I think the reason why fans are like, we just want to see home runs. We want to see touchdowns. It's a product of the technology and TikTok and the world we live in, short attention span. Listen, but I think here's the problem with Chapman. Great, you can throw 103 miles an hour, but when you don't have control and when you don't mix your pitches enough, all it takes is a few looks at that fastball, and those guys pick up on it. I think he's overrated, not a fan. Win 3, and listen, the Phillies got to play the Sox and the Marlins. Marlins can be good randomly at any time. I can't figure them out. Red Sox are one of the best in baseball. Pirates are a doormat right now. I think it's a blessing for the Mets that they get to play them Not once, but twice. So yeah, I'm buying that. Let's go Mets. I think there's a few things here. One of the reasons I think that Randall got overlooked is because, well, he's on the Knicks, and the Knicks have not been relevant for a long time. But that's just me being a bitter Knicks fan.
So
Look,
true or false, Tre'Davious White got robbed of a higher position.
Absolutely true. And this is not because I'm a Bills fan. I swear to God, whenever I see these lists that these journalists and organizations come out with, it's like they all crack each other in the head with a shovel right before, and then they're like, all right, we've got some head wounds. Let's make some decisions. That list is horrendous, dude. I will say, the thing that saves preseason from being a complete bust and looking like the Pro Bowl where nobody tries is that you've got guys that are fighting for their career, either to stay or, to save a roster spot, to prove, walk-ons. So once you get past the ones that know they have their job secure and you start seeing the 2s and 3s come in, you start seeing guys play hard, and that is exciting, and I do love that. I don't want to take this down a different rabbit hole, but when people would talk to me over the years about performance-enhancing drugs in sports, I heard an interesting take on that. It wasn't even a take. It was just someone had said to me, well, some guys, this is their livelihood. And it clicked to me. We hear performance enhancing drugs and we go, oh, they're on steroids. It's not always steroids. There's all different types of performance enhancing drugs. But for a lot of players, specifically older players, you'll find that they're going, I have to make a paycheck for my family. I have to earn this paycheck. And you know what? When I inject this shot into me, or if I take this pill, whatever it is, my injury, I don't feel the pain anymore, and I'm allowed to, I'm able to play at full capacity, and that keeps me on the field earning a paycheck. And when now my wheels have been turning all day. Like, imagine Mo Rivera back in the day running out to enter Sandman with a Yankees belt on.
Right.
We could. There's so many possibilities. We can really, if they want to do it right, I think they need to go all in. And let's not stop at belts and merchandise.
We've got a lot of discussion to do for next week's show.
We have a lot.
That's going to do it for us here on a Friday. Have a tremendous weekend back here on Monday at 5. See you then.